And this is why I said I don't understand dating. It's almost like protocol. These are the things that you do, and these are human beings you're interacting with, and people are very, very complex individuals, and we're very different. So I think if you want to have a successful relationship, you should tailor make every relationship you have to that person.
It has always been this. I don't think that anyone is prepared to ride to the death now.
Bro, no, do you know the difference? What do you know about having to lift the stomach to get to that part?
Oh, strong. So do you know what I want to do as a young experiment? I want to get maybe 15 of us with cameras. I want us to go to a place where paparazzi are going to be, and I want us to roll up on them. Yeah, do you know what, my brother?
Oh, go on.
Do you know, I got ready today, yeah?
And you look amazing.
And I thought, I've lightly wasted an outfit, but I haven't really, because I'm thinking, like, why did I put this on? Like, why am I doing this? Because there's certain things happening tomorrow where I could wear this, and I might do it. I might do it, bro.
I'm gonna do the reverse. I'm gonna talk to you about why I dress so snazzy for a HC podcast, and even sometimes for a Filthy Fellas and any other show.
Go on.
There's more people watching.
No, you're right.
So why am I gonna go to an event that has like 100 people, wear my best outfit for them 100 people and the people I see on the way there and the way home, when I could do this video, potentially get 50, 60,000 views, and there's 50, 60,000 potential people that have seen me.
Nah, of course.
There's more opportunities like that. There is no opportunities if I'm just... The only opportunity I'm doing if I dress well, in especially your event, couple guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Oh, poet, you look nice. I'm like, oh, that's the obvious, darling. What else are we talking about? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the... Apart from that, fam, you're coming to work.
No, of course, yeah. No, but I always more time I always make an effort.
But I want this. No, you don't. You do casual. You're always casual.
Yeah, but casual is an effort.
For who?
Me.
Big man, you're Chucky. Look at you now.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, dog. I like this.
Yeah, but sometimes when I put on a trackie, though, I'm kind of mean in the trackie sometimes, though.
Not kind of.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, I see your thing, but mix it up.
Yeah, I hear that.
Mix it up. Everyday trackie.
I hear that.
You're not getting gym every day.
Listen, I got a question.
Uh-oh.
I got an important question.
Uh-oh. I don't even like where this is going, big man. And I don't even know where it's going.
Have you ever driven a lorry?
What? I stay driving lorries. Catch me on the motorway, homie. Doing that long journey.
Have you driven a lorry before? Like a lorry, bro.
Brother, I look like a fucking toothpick and a burger. I'm doing my thing for the community, bro.
So then you know the difference between a minibus, a double decker, and a lorry.
Bro, no, do you know the difference? What do you know about having to lift the stomach to get to that part?
Oh, strong.
What do you know about having to lift everything in the back just to... You don't know about
them. You've had that?
Yeah, bro.
Strong.
Everyone needs love, bro.
I hear that.
And if I can share my love with that person, call me bad.
I'm due me one. I'm not going to lie. Oh, I'm due me a lorry.
Yeah, but a lorry.
I've done I've definitely a double decker. Definitely a double decker. Do you know what? I've done a lorry, but not in width.
No, my thing was mad.
I've done a lorry in terms of like height, like.
Oh, a tall thing.
Crazily. Do you know what happened?
I was gonna say something, but forget.
Like, bro, it was like.
What do you consider tall though? Because what I consider tall and you consider tall is two different talls.
Nah, she's clean. She's like tall for a woman, bro.
6 foot what?
She's like probably just touching 6.
Brother, what are you doing over there?
Bro, do you know what is nuts? Yeah, like we were just cool. It made me think about this. We were just cool. Like, it wasn't even a thought in my mind at all, ever. Like, not even, I never thought about it ever in my mind.
Do you know what that was, by the way?
Go on.
A limo.
I'm telling you. See what I'm saying now? Boom. One day, I remember her saying to me, randomly, I had a dream about you. She said, I had a dream about you. And I was like, right, what? Because at first, I'm still oblivious to what this could potentially be, because I'm thinking it's just never nothing. Then she was like, like I can't even really talk about it. And she put like a certain type of like an emoji. And I thought,
popcorn time, bud.
I thought, okay. I thought, well, it was one of them. So what that kind of means in my mind, that somewhere in here, you have thought about this, because this didn't come from nowhere. So now my mind's changed, because I'm thinking, okay, how would this even work? Bro, after that, I'm not gonna lie, I turned up the flirting to bits after that because I was so curious. So curious. This was so long ago as well, by the way. But then flipping, in the end, come back to the yard, couple drinks and whatnot. Bro, the lion took down the giraffe.
That's what I want to hear, my brother.
Right?
Come on, we're in the jungle.
The
you know what
lion
animal I
took
am?
down the giraffe.
That's a lion. What am I? A cheetah. But carry on. Brother.
But yeah, like that. So I had a lorry in that sense, but
A
she wasn't
limo.
big. She was a limo.
But the thing is, so obviously, I'm just trying to figure this out. Yeah, this is
It
things
was
that I
mad.
want to know.
Could you imagine when I went?
This
to put
is
the
what
leg-
I'm trying
it
to
was
say,
mad.
bro. When you
it's like
hug
her
her,
legs were so long, I'm like putting her leg up. And it's like it's weird because it's like as I'm putting her leg up, I'm damn near not even reaching. You know, like sometimes you might hold a girl's leg or whatever, and you can be in this bit, the bendy bit or whatnot. The legs were so long that I'm not even touching the bendy part of the leg. I'm like still on the quad.
So I can ask you a question.
Go on.
You know when they're in doggy, yeah? Obviously, if her
I had
legs
to
are
get
bare long, she spreads her.
Nah, that's got to spread to
That
bits.
spread's gotta be
Yeah,
mad,
the spread's gotta be
dog.
mad. The spread.
Why not? Because you essentially, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to figure out the logistics. Because obviously, in
Yeah.
that part of the time, I want to see, like, you know, when you throw a
Hey,
stone in the
I didn't
water,
think about that.
it ripples, right?
Yeah.
But the more it's stretched, the less ripple. You need it slightly a little bit up more so you can see more ripple.
Yeah.
So when it was stretched down,
Nah, I had to stretch it. I had to stretch that.
serious.
Bits.
But is the experience the same?
No, it was good though. No,
Yeah?
it was good. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like, it was good. We didn't have. I wouldn't say it was the greatest, but it was an experience. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? And like, I feel like we both had a good time.
Of course.
Talked about it and that and whatnot, and it just never happened again after that. We was just cool, and then life went on. Fizzled. This was around the time, you know, when I always refer back to that bad period in my life.
Yeah.
Where I was just going through bare things, financially low, this, that, everything was happening all at once. That was a period of maybe a year and a half. That was in there. I don't want to go off topic too much, but it doesn't surprise me because the moments I'm having moments of adversity in my life is the moments I have the most sex, which doesn't make any sense, but makes all the world of sense to me. So I hear that, and I don't know why. And that's bad as well, actually. Because
Very
it doesn't,
bad.
It acts as a plaster. It's like you're trying to find something to make you feel good in a moment, and then it feels all right in the moment until it's done, and then you're like, your reality is still your reality. Doesn't matter. You have to still face the same thing that you were facing 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, 45, depending on how much work you're putting in.
And that's
You
how
know what I'm
man become addicts.
Yeah, they're 100%.
That's how you become an
100%.
addict. I've become an addict to sex. So
What, you have?
No,
Or
no.
you was?
I was 100%.
Is it?
Badly.
Serious?
Badly. At one point, I was addicted to sex. Like beyond, brother. It was so bad because I was looking at women. Sometimes I talk to women, and I would sexualize the situation in my mind, not vocally, because I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I couldn't look at a beautiful woman without thinking to myself, "Wow,
I want to chop.
like I want." Not even I want to try. I just wonder what it would be like. My curiosity would just.
yeah.
And it's not that I wouldn't act on it sometimes, but I just didn't even want the thought. I just want to look at a girl and say, "Well, go on, you say my G."
Yeah.
Obviously, the female friends were the female friends, but then new people coming into my life was always a complicated situation because I just wanted to have sex.
Do you know what? I've had that, a little bit of that as well, actually. That thought of like seeing someone and thinking, I wonder what it would be like.
What is
and constantly thinking about that.
But was it multiple women at one given time, or
Yeah.
was it okay? Yeah, so you was where I
But
was.
I didn't even realize it was such a thing at the time. I'm just, now that you've mentioned it, I remember thinking about that. Like, why do I keep having these thoughts?
And that's when I had sex with the Lorry.
Oh, really?
Because now I'm looking at things with a Discovery Channel. I'm not looking at it like I really want to settle down. I'm just like, I wonder what that would be like.
Yeah.
One little talk in the barbershop, saying the baby daddy's not around and the son's just doing madness.
Yeah.
And then you get to the yard, it's a flat.
Right. Right.
You walk past the bedroom, you see it's a queen size bed. I mean,
Yes.
the lady needs it. God forgive me. I go into the living room area, the son's eating. I expect everyone to be eating in this household. That feels right.
Right.
The son gets kicked to bed very early.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That also felt right because he's not my son. I was young at the time as well. And then when we got into what I didn't like was it's old school yard. So it's one of them houses that have the wardrobe and the whole wardrobe's a mirror.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So then when I'm doing my thing on the bed, I tried at every point to not look in the mirror because I knew I would be put off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that point at the end when I was
Like,
about to...
it's a reflection of what, like, you're looking at yourself thinking, what am I doing here?
Exactly. And then everything's going through your mind. What am I doing here? How did I get here? Why am I in this situation? It's not just... Everything is going through your mind. So I didn't want to look until the right end where I found it humorous.
Right.
So, yeah, man. Toothpick and a...
No, you know, I'm due a lorry still. My minibuses, double decker, definitely a double decker. But I think I'm gonna keep this 100%. I'm gonna keep this so real. Do you know what it was? I think I was going through a big breasted stage.
Oh wow!
So then that was just coming. You know, like sometimes the more the meat, you're gonna find it there usually. I mean, look, see, like with a lorry or a double, like how often do you find a lorry or a double decker without breasts?
Oh, often.
Well, they don't have breasts.
Yeah, brother. I mean, cause I've really been in the field. There are some where it's just everywhere's big. Everything's a roll. The stomach, you could put the dick anywhere. You could put it underneath a little flap and she is turned on. It is mad like that. Couple creases, couple grease. Maybe you shouldn't do it, but it's crazy over there. But I've seen the ones where the titty them are just looking like an additional roll with a nipple. God forgive me for saying these things, but this is how it felt. This is how it looked at the time.
Yeah, I hear that.
And I'm like, raw, like, and I had the same view as you. Like, right, you should have titty them, but no, man, they just put on a lot of weight. And
Maybe that's a real ignorant thing for me to say then.
Yeah, man, and I appreciate it all.
Yeah, look, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Imagine Jabba the Hutt with
sometimes
nipples.
Huh?
Imagine Jabba the Hutt with nipples. That was where I was.
I hear that. I hear that still. But yeah, not every time foreigns and Ferraris and all of that type of stuff, man. You get what I'm saying? Not every time foreigns and Ferraris and whatnot. You get what when you're single and you're outside, sometimes a lorry, a double decker, or a minibus. Why not?
I'm saying it because, like, no, I'm not trying to act like everything I have is a foreign. I'm just not that way inclined. Maybe Fredo can say that because his thing's separate. He looks sensational. He raps sensational. He is sensational. Maybe everything he can get is a foreign. But I can be honest with my situation. I have a couple foreigns, but I have to mix it up.
Yeah, but why would you not want to anyway?
Because
Like-
some people, yeah, do you know some people, a girl is the Gucci belt or the car, or it's just another additional thing to make people go, they look good. Whereas for me, I like to explore, Dora. And I feel like you like to explore as well.
Absolutely.
Carmen San Diego. A bit too young, I believe, for that.
Yeah.
Where is Carmen San Diego? Carmen San Diego. Where? You don't know about them thing there. But yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta explore, Chucky, man. You gotta explore. Lorries need love too. That's my new thing.
100%. And not just by other lorries.
Yeah.
It shouldn't always just be a lorry and a lorry. It shouldn't just be that. Sometimes it should just be all a mix up and whatnot. And like, you know what I mean? I put it in the process of finding out what you like and what you don't like. I put it all in the realms of that. You know what I mean?
Alright, so if you haven't had a lorry, what experience have you had which is still like, it's a bit crazy? Like, for example, I've had
that one that I told you, that's mental, bro.
The small one. Oh yeah, for real.
That's mental, bro.
You ever had a marga girl?
Yes. Yeah, that's super marga.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, super
Brother, they're on the ceiling. This mad.
Do you know what I find interesting, by the way?
Flexible.
While we're here, fuck it. You know the flexibility
is ridiculous, brother.
I hear what I'm saying. Have you ever been with a woman, yeah, and she didn't look like she's got the flexibility in her, but all of a sudden it's like the legs are just mad light. No matter where you put them, they just go everywhere. It's like, how are you doing? I didn't know you had that in you. I
can't put my leg that way, but
yeah. Hey, you know, and sometimes we put like, I was thinking about this the other day. Sometimes we're putting women in positions that, like, are they actually even comfortable? Wait, hold on, wait. Do
you know what? You're starting to make me think, you know, because
standing up doggy, I think it's a bit unreasonable for them to, like, big man, stand up and bend this way and not hold on to anything. It's unreasonable to ask a woman to stand like that for time.
Yes and no.
You know what? Man, we're going to do it now. Hey, someone's going to stand up and bend over and just, you know what? Stand up, lean forward, Don't hold on to nothing.
Who? Man.
Yeah, just so you know, just so you understand.
You see the volcano erupting and what comes out, because I'm not involved in that.
Right, but hear that. Okay, so that's even interesting that you say that.
Supported
by me. I'm holding her up. She can never fall.
I'm not holding nothing. I'm holding or...
Well, you're holding her legs or whatever. I don't know.
Chucky,
there's some certain positions I feel like we're doing it all for the culture and for the vibes and whatnot, but how comfortable are they really?
It's the culture and the vibes. And do you know what, Chucky? You're talking truth, bro. Because sometimes you get lost in the moment and your mind tracks back to previous times you've had sex before, or sometimes you're very impulsive and you can think of a new move.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you just watch porn and there's a move that you see and
Yes.
you're like, I want to do it.
Yes.
And it's never really, you never take into consideration, but what about the female?
Wait,
Does she want to do
like,
this?
Are you comfortable with this? Are you getting a bit of cramp there?
I hear you.
Do you know what, babes? If you're getting cramp, please tell me that you're getting cramp. Don't try and firm it just to just firm it.
But some
we need
girls-
to both enjoy this now.
Yeah, you're right.
We need to both enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm no, I don't think I'm selfish. Because you know one thing, yeah, you can always tell. Like there was one girl a little while ago, this year.
A little while ago. This year.
He's reminiscing as he speaks.
Because you don't understand, bro. I want to have...
Just for anyone watching this, like in the far future, the month that we're in right now is March. Man said a while ago, this year.
Yeah, I've been crazy this year, I won't lie to you.
Go on.
Yeah, I've been crazy. It's been crazy. Flipping. Yeah, I even want to say her name, fam.
No, don't do that.
Of course not. Of course not. She's incredible, but we've only had sex
Say the
once,
name,
yeah?
man, fuck it.
It's only been once, yeah? So I didn't know enough information about what she would like so I didn't know what she would like going into the situation. I'm talking 6 rounds. I'm talking
What?
everywhere
You know what? I think you
And
are
I'm-
a psychopath.
This is on God, bro. Like I can text her right now.
You're a psychopath.
And I could tell from her energy, nothing was off limits. She just wanted to do everything. It was mad. And I sometimes get the energy from females, and I sometimes get the energy from females that I just look pretty. I want to lay here, and you just do all the work. I don't really want to do too much, so I don't put them in them situations. But this girl grabbed my hand, took me out the room, and it was, bro, I'm in the garden at 1 minute, felt like a flower.
Taking control.
Brother, I let her take control sometimes because her thing was wild, and wherever she was leading me, I wanted to go, and I didn't know where I was going.
Right. I like that.
Do you know where I'm coming from? So
you take me there and I'll come with you.
haven't you never been in a situation where it's like you kind of can tell you haven't had a conversation with a girl, but you're like, this girl's a freak, we can do whatever.
Yes,
she don't mind.
absolutely.
So then you wouldn't have consideration in certain positions with them girls. No disrespect, because you know they're here for
Yeah.
Carl
They're
and San
for
Diego.
all the smoke.
Yes.
Yeah, for all the smoke.
So I reckon the girls that are a bit more.
And sometimes I think maybe there's a bit of there's a bit of pleasure in the uncomfortability.
Like a
Something
tattoo.
like that.
A tattoo feels so... I shouldn't compare sex to a tattoo, but I'm just saying it's another situation where something's so painful, but you're like, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, even the choke. I mean, you have to be really careful with the choking thing, but I feel like women that like that, there's a bit of comfortability there's a bit of pleasure in that uncomfortability. It's finding the sweet spot.
Sometimes I'm worried though.
I do it. I'm light with it until I'm told
No,
more, because I don't want to go straight in on gear 7.
Oh hell no.
No. You know what? I'll start off at gear 1, innit? And then if you indicate more strength, I'll give more strength until we've found that bit. I'm not just going. You have to be careful with that.
100%. That's what I'm saying. The thing is though, it's also down to the energy that you give off. Like, what energy would you say you give off, Chucky?
In what sense?
Like sexually, what energy would you say you give off?
I give off the energy of like whatever you're on, I'm on.
Oh, so you
whatever
match their
need-
energy.
Huh?
You match it.
100%. I need to make sure that you're going to enjoy this as much as me. So whatever that is, if you're liking it, I love it. And I will figure out that. And then whatever it is, I'm on.
So in the process of that, do you feel you're not taking lead then? Do you feel like you're kind of waiting for her to give you what the vibe is and then you go from there?
A bit of both. So I'll go in with my package deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. So the standard package deal is going to come with this. Mm-hmm. And then we start physically negotiating during the period. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand this. I understand this. Yeah.
Right. Then.
I understand this.
And
yes,
then
yeah.
as we start figuring out certain things, and then boom, that's where we're at.
Yes.
Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Right.
it's
then.
basically a back and forth.
Yes.
Without saying words.
Without saying words,
I
it's
hear
a
you.
physical
I hear
back
you.
and forth.
Sometimes though, do you ever feel, not all the time, because I said it's down to the energy you give off. The energy I give off, fortunately for me, what I get is, Gala will challenge me. They will challenge me. So
Okay.
sometimes I can take charge, and sometimes I can go, oh, go on then, babe, you right.
Yeah.
With the energy that you give off, because I don't think it's as much as mine.
Yeah.
Do you kind of have to work out within the negotiation period of talking what type of female it is, or do you sometimes just, because of the person you are, you've just got
Nah, all of that depends in it. It depends on how much we've been speaking and what type of conversation we've had. Because you know what, sometimes, to be honest, like I might even be in a situation with someone and we haven't even spoke that much. We found ourselves here, so we haven't.
Yeah,
even had,
that's half my situations, Shucky. More than half my situations, we haven't spoken that much, but we have found ourselves here. I swear to God, it's ridiculous, bro.
I hear that still.
It's weird.
The dynamics are funny, man. I will never be bored of talking about it. I will never be bored of talking about it because whatever it is that you're thinking, so many other people are thinking as well.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you've been feeling, so many other people have been feeling too. And even when I just mentioned to you before, it's like there's been a few times where I'm like, I did not know that you was this flexible at all. And the legs can go everywhere. And to me, it just seems insane. It seems insane. Like, how is your big legs moving like that?
You've got this cheek that is the same size as mine. Like, if the cheek's massive, but your legs are like, nah, man. Chucky, it doesn't make sense to me. Now what you're saying, I've seen it so many times where they've walked in, stallion vibes. I'm looking at the back off like, yo, you're still coming in now. The back off coming 10 minutes later.
Yeah, strong.
How are you able to touch the ceiling with your toes? This doesn't feel right.
It's mad.
But it does feel right.
It's mad. It's actually mad. We're gonna go into something a bit more serious now and then come back into something in a minute. But firstly, before we even get into it, 'cause I did want to know your take on this. There's something that I actually want to do.
Okay.
And I want to know if anyone is down for doing this with me, just one day. And it involves filming something. I was watching, I was on Twitter and I saw Gary Lineker coming out of his yard, right?
Oh.
And I saw like loads of paparazzi like in his face. Have you spoken to Tony? Have you spoken to Tony? When was the last time you spoke to Tony? I don't know who Tony is. Maybe it's the boss or whatever it was, yeah. And it made me think about a few things because sometimes I see certain things on the net and I'm like, the concept of this is actually weird and it's kind of insane. So do you know what I want to do as a young experiment? I want to get maybe 15 of us with cameras. I want us to go to a place where paparazzi are going to be and I want us to roll up on them.
I'm on that. You know I love this. You know I love
I want to roll up on them and ask them about them.
And I want to do
in
it.
Their face. Exactly
yeah.
like
And I want
that.
to do it at a point where it's someone like Gary Lineker, someone like that, so we can take the attention away from that and make it about you lot.
100%. Are you down for this?
It's what me, brother. Come on, man. I would have sex in front of everybody on planet Earth
Strong.
if we knew they could see my talent in its full capacity.
Bits.
So talking to someone outside someone's house with cameras, like it's my skin complexion. I'm on it, and I like that. I like that a lot. Because one thing I think I don't like about paparazzi is the one job in the world where them invading your privacy for some strange reason is not an issue.
Yeah, it's like
it's not an issue.
You're just supposed to be alright with that.
You're meant to accept it. You've done something in society that the whole of us want to address. So guess what? Irrespective of how you feel, irrespective of this morning, you got a bad text from your baby mum, irrespective if your dad died, no one cares. We're coming outside your yard. We're bringing cameras and we're asking you questions.
Well, we won't. This is the thing. We won't go outside their yard. We'll just go to wherever they're gonna. So exactly what you said. Yeah. Let's just say, for example, they are outside Gary Lineker's yard.
Yeah.
We go outside Gary Lineker's yard and we jump out of the whips. Like we all just in unison jump out of the whips and just roll up on them and just stick the cameras in their face and microphones. Someone will film us doing it. But we'll all have cameras. We'll all have something. We'll have our phones.
I want like 15
We could do our phones.
I want like 15 people.
Yeah, like literally 15 people. Like, so if there's any of you lot that want to like do this, we can like, let's do it. Let's actually do it as a light social experiment and see how they react to it.
And also, there'll have to be someone who's actually well versed in where these individuals get their information from, at what point to be and where, and so on and so forth, the logistics of the job, so where everyone's going to be at one given time. I need that one person. Make sure you just send Chucky all the information, because we're going to need to know where all of these people are going to be at. Sometimes I don't know any of this information.
Neither do I.
So I don't even know how you found out where Gary Lineker lived to all go to his house in the first place. So yeah, I need to have all the information like that. So wherever you lot are going to be, I want to be there too, bro.
I think it's like a thing for me where, and I've said this so many times, yeah, but like, people never usually understand until it happens to them. And I think sometimes, I'm not here to be the person who is like the moral high ground of life or anything like that. But sometimes I just think that like, maybe occasionally someone just needs to just see how they will react when it's them. And if they react great to it, especially a couple of times, then you know what? You're a go. You're certified. But if you get upset about it, we've got a big problem here.
Oh, 100%.
We've got a big problem here. You're only understanding until because it's you. Look, let me tell you something, yeah?
Yeah.
Even like, we do a pod and we sit and we talk about all different types of things, yeah? I can't be mad when, let's say, for example, I've come out and I've said something like super outrageous or something crazy has happened. And now podcasts are talking about me. Can't be mad about that. Because I said what I said and I did what I did. Imagine now me being so mad and upset that people had some commentary towards...
You having commentary.
Huh?
To you having commentary.
Exactly. So you know what? Let's push a camera in your face.
See how you feel now.
See how you feel.
The killer is, yeah, do you know what's so mad, Chucks? Because you can go deeper with this. I can take the shovel out.
Go on.
How do we say this? Media is controlled by someone. I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But it's controlled by someone. Because the moment they want a particular narrative to be sold, they sell it through the media. And then there's a series of events that happen to sell this narrative. Staying with Gary Lineker. He's tweeted something. Now, he's tweeted something, but the crazy thing is, other people in the BBC, and I can't remember their names, but an individual on Sky, I can't remember his name as well, to be fair. Bloody hell, what can I remember? A guy on Sky Sports, on Sky Sports News, basically told the whole of people that were watching, the other individuals at BBC that have made far more of a contribution than Gary Lineker tweeting about politics. I'm talking about people giving money to political parties. I'm talking about people aligning themselves politically with these individuals and joining with them in unison in their beliefs and so on and so forth. And these are BBC execs. Because they got no profile. No one gives a shit. Gary Lineker has a profile. What he's done is far less, more detrimental than what these guys at the BBC are actually working behind the scenes do. But we have an agenda. We have to get Gary Lineker out. I don't like what he's done. He has to apologise. Send people to his yard. We'll bully him into getting what we want. He has to apologise. He has to come back to the BBC. He has to do what we say. So we'll send people to his yard. We'll put everything in the press. We'll make his life hell. And I kind of feel like half of it is not even the people at the door's fault. This is protocol to like bully people in society for you to continue with whatever narrative you want the country to have.
Yeah.
Now, I know I've gone so deep with it, but I just look at it and I'm just like...
I hear you.
It's actually like, whoever it is, it's systematic bullying, bro. Like, it's actual... Not to say that a grown man should want to be labelled as he's getting bullied, but do you understand where I'm coming from?
100%. Well, do you know it starts with money, innit? Because obviously someone's controlling it, and all they need to do is now put a price on that person. So if now the person who's controlling it says, you know what, I can give you 10 grand for a pic, get me a good picture, or get me a good quote, I'll give you 10 grand for it. You know what? Let me try my luck. Let me go and try my luck. Someone in that group has taken a picture or gets a quote or whatnot, and they get 10 bags, 10, 15 bags for it. It just all becomes a cycle. But they're like pawns in the game.
Yeah, they're like the little guys on the street that are selling the 10s or the 20 bag, and these times the big man that's doing the big things is nowhere to be seen.
You can't see him.
But you just shift the man on the street.
Yeah, of course.
So as much as I want to do it, because I like to do nonsense anyway, I am gonna feel bad afterwards. I'm gonna be like, it's not you lot. I feel like I've never grown up around the individual like any of you guys. No one I grew up around said, hey, I want to go outside people's house and take pictures. So I kind of think you lot are fucking mentally ill anyway.
Yeah.
I think half journalists that do that are mentally ill, but because they have a paid job and a paid occupation, it's allowed. Like I reckon if you take a look at those individuals outside of taking pictures, they're fucking idiots. I reckon they do the most craziest things, and because their whole principle, they have no principles. Their morals have gone out the window. They've shifted their morals for financial income.
Yeah, well, it's being slave to money, isn't it?
So I just don't think those types of people outside of that are. I think they need a lot of help. So I feel kind of bad doing it.
I agree with you.
But at the same time,
I feel like the best thing to do is to find the person who controls that and then do it to that person. But we're never going to be able to do that.
And I think afterwards we should call one of them, get them to the couch, and just talk to them. Why the fuck do you do this?
Yes.
Like why?
What a night. That is perfect.
Why?
And who is it? Who are you sending the pictures to? Like, who are you speaking to? And what type of conversations are you having? Yeah, let's try and find out some of that. I don't know. I think it's an interesting one, man. But I think the paparazzi thing it's nuts. The more that I watch it, the more that I'm like, it's so mad that you actually just have to become accustomed to that. Like, if you are famous, if you are like, and you've said something. I mean, what Gary said right now, there's loads of conversations about immigrants. It's a really big talking topic at the moment. Yeah. So obviously him saying that, the country's already divided at the moment because some people are saying, you know what, like there's a whole bunch of illegal immigrants coming into this country and these are the effects of the illegal immigrants coming here. The other side is saying, well, firstly, they're not illegal immigrants. If you are coming if you are coming from a war-torn country or there's something that is happening in your country, it is within your right to be able to leave and seek asylum. That is not illegal. That is not illegal. But you know, when you have politicians now, you have a politician that represents these people and a politician that represents these people, left and right, and you've got one that comes out and says something like this to control an agenda. Now it becomes a big thing. So Gary Lineker saying what he's saying falls into a side that, you know, maybe, so I'm not sure what the percentage is, but it represents the feeling of a lot of people that feel like, no, people should be allowed to come and seek asylum in this country. Like, they should be able to do that. Now, the BBC have this impartiality rule thing where, you know, you're not allowed to say anything politically or whatever it is now. You're not allowed to have an opinion on that. But it's like, immediately when I saw this whole situation with Gary Lineker, I thought it was really interesting because I'm like, you know what? There's a part of me that says, sometimes I just wish that the powers that be just came out and said, yo, we're doing certain things, we're running it our way, and we've got an agenda, and that's just it. Yeah? You just need to accept it. Just do that. Because look, Gary Lineker was on the TV around the World Cup, not being impartial at all. Talking about the country and how these lot are running their country and this, that, and the fourth and whatever else, yeah? And that was fine. It was okay for him to do that at the time. No one didn't even say nothing. And I was kind of on the vibe of, look, I didn't really love that because I was like, you know what? Either stand for something or not. I know this is going to be a harsh way of saying it, but it's like, look, I understand if you do not rate this, if you do not rate it, then do what you need to do to show that you do not stand for it. There was so much people that were coming out and talking about the country, and we spoke about it on the podcast before. It was like, you know, if you feel that way, that's cool. Don't watch the World Cup then. Don't watch it. But that was too difficult. People only, it's like people stand for something until it affects their convenience.
Not everyone. This is why I like Gary though. Sorry to stop. This is why I like Gary. This is how he is. Right.
So no, this is not a knock towards Gary. Yeah, this is a knock towards the impartiality.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Right, so it's like, okay, he's all right. It's okay for him to do that because it's them, man.
But when it's us, man,
can't
say nothing.
He can't come to work now. He can't. This paparazzi at the yard. There's all kinds of stuff going on. We need an apology. Wait. What? Wait. Hold on. Wait. The World Cup wasn't even that long ago and there was no impartiality over there.
Should we go back further, Chucky?
Go.
Let's go back further. Do you remember when Raheem Sterling play for Manchester City.
Absolutely.
And he collected the ball to do a throw-in. I believe on the right-hand side, his right. And there was a group of Chelsea fans who racially abused him. And Raheem Sterling said nothing. Now, why I remember this so well, because myself and Vuj were on Copa 90, and we said, that feels a little bit racist to me. And we said it at a time where racism in football was not where it is today. I can tell you that, geezer. Me and Vuj went ham with it. But because there's an agenda the country has, if you saw all the comments under the video, it would have been little Conservative parties, people's sons, chatting shit. When does the agenda change? When God MC, the man that made football, the man that created Arsenal, Ian Wright, came forward and said, no, this is racism.
Right then.
And right after him, who came forward? The best Jamaican ever, better than Bob Marley, Raheem Sterling. He came out and said it was racism. Now the whole thing has to change. The country changes the agenda. People are kneeling. People are kneeling now. I'm telling you, in 2016, 2015, the whole situation is... Stop exaggerating. It's always race. It's always colour. And now we're realising, oh shit, it really is always race and always colour. Yeah. What are we going to do to change it? The new agenda now is that England just don't want to dance a yard.
No.
They're doing everything in their power after they got exposed for racism in football in the early, I would say, 2000s, 2010 up until 2020. There was a massive change within football and the way you view it. And because of that, they're changing the agenda now. They're trying to make it, no, we love everyone. We're good to everyone. We're this, we're that. So they've done that for a couple of years and they've just gone back to, don't let him in the country, win rushed it. And it's just bollocks. This is why I actually hate media, essentially, and I work for them because I feel like Gary Lineker. Sorry to go on a tangent, but it's like you do this job for you to be an important member for your family, and most importantly, for you to do it honestly. So there's an opportunity for other people coming in to have an honest career and so on and so forth. But then you're battling against media. The people that you're working with, you're battling against them because they're doing immoral things. But I'm like, who are you controlled? You have to be controlled by the government. It has to be. Otherwise, this doesn't make sense. If you make media for people and the people are the ones suffering, and the government is why the people are suffering, why is media supporting the government if the people you can see don't like government?
Well, ain't we all controlled by the government, though?
Oh, 100%. Even we're all controlled, yeah, 100%.
So, and then obviously everyone, like, each side has an agenda. So then it's just about trying to, for some people's thoughts lean more to what is the left. Some people's opinions lean more to the right. And then there's some people that are a little more in between or whatnot, like understand a little bit in you. Because for me, I don't know, my feelings are not everything over here is going to be right. And not everything over here is going to be wrong. Do you know what I mean? And it's about taking the sense out of nonsense. It's always been the same for me. But at the same time, it's like, yo, there's something happening here. And I would rather you just be honest about it. I know that you're not going to be, but I would rather you just be honest about it. This impartiality thing, for example, just come out and say, yo, like, it's impartial when it comes to this, but it's not impartial when it comes to that. Just say it.
What happens off
just deal with it.
What happens off the back of that?
Well, at first there becomes a riot. So what happens is there's a riot to begin with. No, because everyone cares to begin with.
There's a riot.
Everyone will care, and that will become a really big thing. But ultimately, it will just be fish and chips paper, because my thought has always been this: I don't think that anyone is prepared to ride to the death now.
Ooh.
I just don't feel.
Why?
I just don't feel like we. I don't feel like we are wired the same way that our ancestors were, in that sense of, you know what, like, for the greater good, if it means I have to die for the greater good, I'm prepared to do that. I will die for the greater good. I will put myself in the line of fire. So that greater good could be, you know what, like back in the time where, let's say, like, police just, you could be out on a I don't know, you could be out on the field somewhere, police would just shoot you down or whatnot at a protest or whatnot. Like, people will obviously protest, but I think if people knew that they were really going to get shot in that, like today, I don't know, man. It's convenient war. I just feel like we're on convenient war. I just feel like we're on convenient war. Like, everyone will go online and they will tweet stuff. They will say things. They will scream and they will shout. But when it's really time to really ride, I just don't know if that's happening.
I think you're right, bro.
And if I was the powers that be in this country, like I would know that. And I would say, you know what, we're putting certain things in place and they're going to be upset. But ultimately, it will be all right. Because no one's on nothing. No one is on nothing. Everyone's on tweeting. That's what everyone's on.
And
tweeting. Marching.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Even the marching.
And wearing a badge.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But even the marching thing is like, I can't get a day off work. Some. Do you know what I mean? Or some's marching on their annual leave.
But you know what though? But Chucks.
I hear it. Because obviously we got bills to pay, we got all of that.
Yeah, Chucks, man.
Yeah, but this, bro, that's not what this was about. They had bills to pay back then too.
They were more unified though, because I think their struggle was more unified because there was less opportunity for people. Whereas there's more opportunity for people, you're actually finding out a couple, man, they're runaway slaves that ain't coming back. A couple, man, are Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Just when you think they're gone, they come back with the gold and they say we have to be good, all of us together. And even in the job that we have, like, I try and be Robin Hood. I see you try and be Robin Hood. I see bare people trying to be Robin Hood. For every one Robin Hood, you've got 3 or 4 people that are not though. And I can't even begrudge these individuals because I'm from the same place. I'm like, guys, we're in hell. We need to get out. It's kind of difficult to be thinking about how to save other people when you're actually in hell. And then you've got your mum that's in hell, your dad's in hell, your brothers and sisters. You're like, let me get my thing out. And you know, I might never come back, but at least I've helped my family and I can't begrudge you for that. So I feel like whoever's in control knows that and puts that to the test. And it's a very difficult task. If you've done it to the 89%ers, you'll have a massive problem. They've been here for longer, they have more information, they have more, like you're then losing out on a large part of the country. But to do it to the 11%ers, you can go home. We'll just send you home or Rwanda. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
If you don't listen to what we're saying, your dad's going home now and your mum, I'm sending her to Rwanda. And guess what? They can't come back to this country for 7 years. So you're either gonna listen to what I'm saying, you're gonna go on TV, you're gonna wear that fucking badge, you're gonna shut your mouth, or you're gonna be taking a 4-hour flight to visit your mum. 10-hour flight to visit your mum. How does that feel? And when you're faced with that proposition, it's like, oh, hi everyone, I'm whoever I am. And you're like, that's not how you speak. That's not who you are. That's not what you feel like. But guess what? The consequences of you not doing that are so dear. I get it. So unfortunately, this is a time where you need more Gary Linekers.
Yeah.
You actually probably need more Gary Linekers because I can't get on us lot for not doing anything because the consequences are too dear. Look, Gary Lineker, do you see what Gary Lineker got?
What?
Do you see what Gary Lineker got? The BBC apologised to him.
I know. Well, I mean, that's the thing though. Ultimately, they would have had to have done that because obviously everyone was leaving there. People were saying they weren't going back to work, which I loved and I respect that.
Oh, shout out. Who was the first man again?
Yeah, Ian Wright.
I'm just saying, it's not a coincidence.
He said, fuck that, man.
It's always Ian Wright. It's always Ian.
Actually, I've got another take as well, yeah.
Go on.
Sometimes people say, like, I heard this a couple of times on the radio where people were saying, like, you know, maybe Gary Lineker isn't the right person to say this when he gets paid that and he gets this and that. And you know, like, I've always felt like a lot of the time, the privileged person, the person who is in the privileged situation, it's better for them to say something. Do you know why? Because the person who is less privileged just comes across as a moaner. You know that? 100%. People just look at them as, you know what? Like,
it's another thing to moan about.
You're bottom of society anyway. No one don't care about you. You just be quiet. Just know your role and just be quiet and whatnot. But you see when the person where it's like, it actually doesn't affect them in such a way, but they can turn around and say, no, but this is wrong. And not only that, but they've got millions of people that are actually in tune to them. I feel like that is way more powerful. When people keep turning around and saying, this person gets paid this and that, maybe they're not the right person to. No, in this case, he's the perfect person to say something to because he's got the reach and he's privileged, which means he's looked at that and said, hold on a minute, although this doesn't affect me, this is wrong because this affects millions of people. Not everyone is going to be a 1%er. Is he a 1%er? He's a 1%er in this country, isn't it?
Yeah,
or like a 5%er.
I think 1% is 80 grand or more.
Really? Google that. Google what a 1%er is in this country.
It's a hard one, isn't it? It's a very, very hard one, this whole situation.
Oh, no, it's 160. 1%er is a taxable income of at least 160 grand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 160. So that is before tax. So real technically, you're not that far off, because when you're getting 160 grand, ain't you getting taxed like 50% or some shit like that?
20% if you have a business.
You're earning 80.
No, you're not.
No.
But carry on.
No, as in you're earning 80 after tax.
After tax.
When you're making 75 bags, you're going to open a business account. When you open a business account, the tax is not 50%. So no, you're not. And if you open an account and you make it a charity like some people do, no, it's not. So no, the more money you make, the more money you make.
Oh yeah.
That's just what it is, guys.
That is so true.
What I will say is this as well. I think we live in a very weird world, Chucky, where the right thing has to be presented in a particular way. So I remember when I was younger, and I never forget it. I remember I said to my mum, we were sitting down, and my dad said to me, "Boy, up, I hope so you never smoke, you know." And mum goes, "That's rich coming from you." And I said to mum, "But isn't that the right thing to say?" And everyone's gone quiet. Now, that's rich coming from me because I love the term dancer yard. But eventually we have to get to a point in life where the right thing shouldn't be so complex. If Gary Lineker's saying the right thing, I don't care about right wing, left wing, Iron Robin, Damien Duff, fucking Vinicius Jr. I don't give a shit. That's the right thing to do.
Well, okay.
Why are we complicating the right thing?
That's the right thing according to you.
No, I don't even know. Do you know this? I don't know the logistics of it. I'm just saying, when are we going to get to the right thing? Whatever the thing is, I don't want to get into the right thing to do. And for me, I'm always going to be thinking about the predator stopping doing what they're doing. I'm not going to ask the prey to present the right thing. The predator, you need to stop in order for us to get the right thing. Is what I think about racism. How can I stop racism if I'm the prey? White people, stop being racist, and guess what? Racism stops. Black people can fight to the end of time. We haven't started this. Stop it, we're free. Same thing with the situation here with the migrants. Stop making it difficult for people to come to this country if they're trying to seek asylum, because when you want to get whatever you want to get from another country, you don't care. Now these jewels from India or somewhere are still around the king now, I guess, Mr. Charles. So when you want to take stuff from other country and put it in the British Museum and none of it's British, it's all cool. But when the people that are unfortunately not reaping the rewards of what you've done, all of a sudden it's an issue. So for me, the right thing to do would be one of two things. And you're right, it is personally, but I'm just thinking about humanity. I'm not speaking about left and right wing. I play centre back. I'm thinking about saving people, humanity. My thing is this. If the right thing would be to give, I don't know how it would work. If the right thing would be to give people back some of the resources they have from their country in order to raise the profile of their country, in order for them to potentially get more people coming over because now they have things of worth that people want to go and see, and I don't know, any way to raise the profile, make the country some more money, we should do that. Because guess what? You won't have so much people seeking asylum. I reckon the half of the things, the wars and so on and so forth that happen is due to poverty, lack of finance, so on and so forth. We ain't no third world situation, so why do we still need to keep all of these resources when there's other countries that are going through fuckery and we can actually help them? So if Gary Lineker is sitting in his yard and saying, you know what, come and chill in my yard, he's dancing a yard. The question is BBC, the question is government, the question is the people in power, why can't you? That's all I want to know.
Right. There's so many different angles to this, and one is being like going back to what we was talking about with the media, misinformation. Okay. So you know, you'll have a politician, for example, coming out and they'll give some information. Remember, they're speaking to millions of people here and giving misinformation, and then that leads to confirmation bias. So if now, let's just say, for example, a politician comes out and says, we're having millions. There's millions of people that are coming to this country, and this is the effect of that. But in essence, it's actually not millions. There isn't millions of people that are coming that are seeking asylum. Let's just say, I don't know the figures. I have no idea, so I'm just saying this without this. But let's just say, like, you know, it could be 100,000 I'm just throwing a number out here, 100,000 or 50,000 or whatever. That's far off a million. But that million now is what someone who they'll take that as confirmation because you're a politician, so you have all the information.
Yeah.
You're telling me this, and this is, and you know what? Everything's expensive. This is expensive. I can't. The waiting list for this is long. This is that. This is it's the fucking immigrants. Then what happens? You do a poll. What should we do? Let's ask the audience. Should we stop should we do something about people seeking asylum here, or should we actually just leave it as it is? With all that information that has been given to you, what are you going to do? You're going to turn around and say, well, it's affecting my life, so fuck that. I don't want any of them here.
Yeah,
and that's where it becomes so like, what Gary Lineker is saying, for me, I feel is the right thing. But there is somebody who's taking information, and I don't even have all the information, but there's someone who's taking information, and whether it is right or wrong, that is the right thing for them. And this is why it's so difficult to run a country anyway when everyone is so divided and it's deep rooted. It's not even like this is something that has started of recent times. This is a deep rooted thing that has been going on for hundreds of years. It is going like, it just keeps getting passed on and passed on because each child is in a household with parents or in a community that thinks and feels a certain way. And you might not think and feel all of that. You might not. But you might think some of it though. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
You might think some of it. And it's
convenient wars, convenient bias.
Right.
Everything's down to people's convenience. It's horrible.
So for there to be any type of drastic change, this might sound mad, but I feel like there might have to be some type of civil war. You know that? And then once everyone's pockets, once every single person is being affected, then something would change. But one, that's never going to happen. Two, we're all on convenient war. And three, they know that because nothing is going to happen and because we are on convenient war, ultimately they can just keep doing what they're doing. And then if anything, you know what, we'll just issue an apology. We'll issue an apology, but it will be fine. You'll have your job back. It's all right.
The thing is, what's so crazy, sometimes I feel like I should go inform myself more on the discrepancies within the world. I just don't care. I'd rather
do you know what you should do? There's a Twitter page called Simply Politics, yeah? I follow them. And it's just like, I'll show you it.
Send it to me, please.
Yeah, put it on the screen as well.
And it makes things easier.
It's just simple. It's just super simple.
Because Chucky,
this is how it looks.
I watched an 8-minute clip the other day.
And then whatever you're interested, like it just has like little breakdowns. So you just like, it just breaks it down like that, like just little breakdowns of like who said what.
Is that Instagram or TikTok?
It's Instagram.
Yeah, send that to me.
Yeah.
That's.
It just gives you like the dating, like what's going on or whatever.
We need to know. I need to know, man. That's nice and convenient. We need to know.
Do need to know. Do you know why?
Because Chuck, sorry to cut you. I was gonna say, what's so weird to me is they have like, if you're going back to December where England claimed they had a problem with the Qataris.
Yeah.
I've watched something the other day where some of the Qataris own like so much in London. Like they bought bare stuff in London. Like the Qataris, they bought bare things in London.
Well, do you know some people would have a problem with that, right?
People would have a problem with it, but my whole thing is it's happening. And for them to be able to do that, this is my ignorance, Chuck. It's nuts that they're able to do that, and then the country allows it to an extent, or I don't know how they wouldn't allow it, but the country, but then complains that they're going to it's just so weird. It's just a living proof that adults, some people just don't grow up. They remain kids forever. They're just adults as kids. Because I just don't understand the thinking behind it. I just don't get this country at all.
Neither do I. Neither do I. But what I will say is though, when you look at all of what's going on here and you look at what's going on in other countries and stuff like that, you obviously realise that like, there's a part of me that feels like it's a soft touch here though.
Yeah and no, bro. To be honest with you, a part of me kind of wishes I grew up in a place which was a little bit more harsh. For the simple fact, because for the simple fact that I'm seeing a real, true example of reality. I don't see it here, so I end up thinking that life is a bit more sweet than it actually is. It's only when I started traveling I started realizing how bad this world is, and then you come back and you see the subtle parts of racism. I think over here, to a certain extent, man's manipulated. They don't even know. And I'd rather know the truth than be manipulated.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right. I hear that still. I think that there's probably, the difference is that maybe here we're manipulated. We're manipulated in the brain. And maybe in some other countries, they are manipulated physically more than anything. Do you get what I'm saying?
100%.
So what they're going through is like a lot more physical danger, which is different. I mean, that comes with its own trauma. Both comes with trauma, and both comes with a generational issue. But I guess it's just about which
Chucky,
side you'd rather. Nowhere's perfect. But I don't
Put
know,
it this way, Chucky. Knowing your enemy gets you shot in your chest. Not knowing your enemy gets you shot in your back. Simple, bro.
I hear that loudly. I like that.
Do you know what I'm saying, my G?
I like that.
So I just want to know my enemies, bro. And guess what? Living in England, you're getting shot in your back.
To bits.
Hair time,
Listen,
cuz.
all the spine, all around here.
Right, yes, sir.
All over it. All over it. All over it, bro. It's nuts.
I feel like we deserve more as people. And again, and I'm sorry to keep going back to it. I'm so happy Gary Lineker speaking out, because do you know what? I'm tired of our complexion speaking about the discrepancies. I want you lot to have some problems amongst your 89%. I want you to see that you all don't get along. So then the next generation growing up is easier for my pickney and easier for your pickney.
But yeah, anyway, just the last thing I'd say on this is that one of the reasons why I think it's good to keep an eye on what's going on is because politics is ingrained in every part of your life. Without you even realizing it at times. Everything that you do, there's a political element to it. Even just getting on the fucking train. When you just get on the train and you realize, oh shit, it's gone up. Oh no, there's a strike. You're like, what's going on? Why are they striking? Wait, what? Because of, they're trying to protect their pay. Oh, mad. Then you start looking at that. That becomes a whole different thing. You want to go to the doctors, and it's taking you a month and a half to go and see a doctor's. Big man, my pain is now. I might not be able to last a month and a half. I'm going to the hospital, and they're striking. You go to the hospital, there's so many people in there, and it's taking ages to be, and then they can't do this and they can't do that, and it's like, there's so many reasons for why these things happen, and it all stems off of that. And I just think that like it's kind of good. It's deep, and there's so much to know, and I don't know everything. Obviously I don't, but sometimes I'll just have a little look, and it's like it's mad out here. But I just feel like politics is ingrained in everything that we do, and it's kind of, I think it's useful to know why some of the people are doing what they're doing. And you just, you might see something that you think, nah, there's no way I could allow that to happen, or that affects me and my people in such a big way. I need to use my platform to speak about that and to get the word out, or whatever it may be. And me, I don't know what the meaning of life is. I don't know what the full meaning of life is. But for me, every day, I genuinely try to just be a better person and a good person to my people, and like to the people that I care about. And I'm not gonna be perfect at it, but like there's ways that I can do that, and that is by using the platform and stuff.
You do a great job, trust me. You do a great job. I think the saddest thing for individuals in this country, I learned this more from Vuj, is when Vuj
Honorable shout out to Vuj.
He knew so much about politics in Serbia.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So
well, you go to different countries and they do. You know that.
But the beauty about that is he was born into it, he knows it, and he comes over here. So finding about politics in this country is just a natural progression. The problem, I would say, the generation of 80s and 90s babies have probably, and maybe not so much now moving forward, but the 80s and 90s babies, is the politics you would have learnt about, is the politics that was going on back home. So I would learn about all the politics in Jamaica. A lot of my friends were telling me about the politics happening in Ghana and to Nigeria. To this day, I still hear about it. Do you know where I'm coming from? So I think maybe to manage on two parts is a bit difficult. But like Chucky said, it's essential. Irrespective of how difficult it is, you need to know what's happening in your life, just so you can shape your own destiny.
Yeah.
Because without knowing that the price of the tickets are going up, you've gone to the train station with the wrong money.
You're right.
You've gone with the wrong money without knowing that Brexit's happening. You're in this queue and you're wondering why it's taking so long.
Yeah. And why? Then you start looking at all the other things, like why property prices are going up.
Why property
all kinds of stuff. I mean,
Chucky,
it's coming down a little bit now.
I didn't even know about the flying thing until I went to Sweden.
What
and then
flying thing?
the whole Brexit thing, I didn't understand what was really going on. I just kept putting it off. And then when I went to Sweden one time, I nearly fart. I took out my... They said to me, yo, excuse me.
Your forehead.
Yeah, what you got? Excuse me, what you doing here? I said, what? I said, mate, this ain't New York. And he goes, no, Brexit. Now, what are you doing here? How long are you staying? Where to dress? Are you staying at? I said, I come to see my kids. What kids? Big man, my kids. Yeah. This is... I said, yo. So yeah, sorry to reinforce your point, but politics.
No. I hear you loudly. We got 15 minutes left because obviously you got to take the cameras and that. I wanted to... I don't want to... You got Howlers?
I don't know, I was sorting out a shoot. I've got some. I'll say what you were going to say.
I got a couple of things here, yeah.
I think you should say
one, I want to just send a big honourable shout out to Loyal Kana, by the way. Went to his show on Wednesday. Incredible show, actually. I went to the one in Hammersmith Apollo. You went to the Hammersmith Apollo show as well. He did Wembley the day after. Bro, this guy is I just love... One thing that I love about Loyal Kana is he is just himself. He is just himself. And I just so respect it. I just so respect it. He's got a fan base of people. It's so mad to think that like some people will turn around and say Loyal Kana is underrated or whatever. And I'm like, nah, the people that rate him. But it's like, even to have that conversation and to see this man is doing thousands of people are coming out to see this brother. Like, he did Hammersmith Apollo, that's 5,000, and did Wembley. What is the Wembley arena called? It's called something else. I think that's 12,000, right? Google that. Right? Yeah, Google that. That's 17,000 people in London in 2 days. What's Google capacity?
12,500.
Yeah, 12,500. Why do I know all the capacities of stadiums?
That's good though.
Yeah. 12,500. Yeah, man. Big him up anyway. Honourable shout
out. Go on, Kana. See me, Panda.
Did you see the This was I wanted to lightly bring this up, yeah. Certain things that I see people talking about in regards to dating and that, yeah, is always interesting to me because, like, in my real life, I don't experience them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't experience some of those things, yeah. So anyway, there's something that came up on the timeline the other day, yeah. Yeah, honourable shout out to Aloni. I really do like Aloni, by the way. I do. She
got married recently, innit?
Yeah. She's cool. I feel like we filmed something. We should get her here. We should get her on the pod actually, because she's got a lot of insight on a lot of things. She's a good talker. Like overall, she's good. I will say that. And I filmed something. Me and Dan did something with Durex time ago, and she was there. She was good, but I heard this.
Was being really nice.
Right.
Is going on a date, right? So she went on an amazing date, and the following weekend she was about to go on a date with another guy. The first weekend with the guy, she asked him, she said, are you gonna call an Uber for me? And then he was just like, okay, like, where do you live? Yada yada yada. Anyway, he sorted it out. They had a great time, and she wasn't like she was asking like a dickhead. She was being really nice about it. She never just said like, I read it, so I analysed like, okay, no, you asked really nicely. Anyway, needless to say, they had a good time. They went out. You know, they basically like bar hopped because, you know, it was one of them ones where you have such a good time, you don't want to go.
Let's get to the next page.
And she was telling me how like much they were just laughing and enjoying each other's company. The following week, she has a date with another guy. She says the exact same thing. She's talking to him really pleasantly. She says, are you going to sort out like an Uber or a cab for me? And then he says, no, you could get like a cab, train or bus.
Real nigga.
He's able
Right.
Real nigga shit. To me as well.
That's happened to me as well.
You know what?
Should be embarrassed.
If he didn't want to do it, that is absolutely fine because you can't force a man to do anything. But I felt like his delivery, the way he
shady
said
as
yourself,
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw the actual the thing. Yeah, they posted it on their thing. So he's saying, he sent the website. He said 8 p.m. or 9 p.m, which is better. She said 9 p.m. is better. Will you be picking me up or getting me an Uber? He responded to the 9 p.m. is better by saying, okay, nice. And then underneath that, he said, I'm not able to do any of those. Get a cab, train or bus for yourself. Now I will find my way there too.
That's mad. What can you just repeat the way she requested the car, please?
She said, will you be picking me up or getting me an Uber?
Can you say that one more time?
Will you be picking me up or getting me an Uber?
Can you say it one more time?
Will you be picking me up or getting me an Uber?
Now, girls, you have to ask yourself, do you want a boyfriend or a dad?
Right.
Because I used to ask my dad to pick me up. And he didn't. I accepted it.
Yeah.
So, I just think the way in which they're coming across dating, and this is why I said I don't understand dating, is it's almost like protocol. These are the things that you do. And these are human beings you're interacting with. And people are very, very complex individuals. And we're very different. So I think if you want to have a successful relationship, you should tailor make every relationship you have to that person. Don't just have a general, I went on a date, these are the things that are required from a date. I went on another date, these are the things. That's why I can't go on a date. Because when I'm seeing someone, everything you want is what I want to cater to. I'm not going to put you in positions and ask you questions for things that you just don't do. It's just not what I do as a man. And most importantly, I want to take care of you. But beyond that, we ain't making demands. How can I make a demand of someone I hardly know?
Right.
So when you say, will you be picking me up or will you be getting me an Uber? That comes across as a demand. It might not be. But to me, it comes across as a demand. I'm like, what do you mean? And I have no problem. Listen, I'm going to state this very clear. I'll state this. Florida, you can ask the gal. You can ask my brethren. Getting you an Uber is not a problem. I'll get Ubers for everyone. I've said it on my tunes. All the Ubers at the freakers. But it's my money. It's my account and it's my Uber. I will get it for you when I feel I'm going to get it for you. You can't tell me, am I going to be picking you up or getting you an Uber? Because I just feel like now, I just don't want to fuck with someone like that.
Yeah,
it's
because it's, although it's a question, it's a telling more than anything. Do you know what it is? This is why, the reason why I actually brought this up though, is because when I watched that, in my life, and I've dated, but I never experienced women like that. Like, I never experienced that. The only thing really in the beginning aspects of like dating a woman, the only thing that they've probably asked me is for time. It's time and maybe some respect. How old is
Aloni?
Huh?
How old is she?
I'm not sure.
I say that to say Uber's been around for a period of time where if you was a teenager when Uber came, I understand why you then go, are you getting me an Uber? But when I was a teenager...
It wasn't her. It was someone, I think it was basically...
No, but they're all agreeing with it. They all understand. They're all in agreement though, Chucky.
Just for context though, the type of podcast that they do is like people sending their dating things. It's like one of them ones, isn't it?
Okay.
Like, Aloni, read this one out. This guy, imagine this guy did so and so, and you know, like, it's one of them kind of vibes. So they were reading out something from someone.
Oh, so I don't even know their reactions. I just know the person that sent it, if she's a younger girl, I just don't think there's anything wrong with that. I feel like that makes perfect sense. You've only grown up knowing Uber as maybe a means of taking transport as well as other things. Like Uber's grown up with you as much as the train and all of that. We never had Uber when I was growing up. We just had train, we had Kia, and we had a cab. But no one's going to phone a cab and say, can you got like... No one does that, bro. The Uber is convenience on your phone.
You hear this though, yeah. Back then, the cab was the convenience. But I feel like that's besides the point. No, but I think it's the question. I think the question is mad.
But no one's ever asked back in the day, "Are you getting me a cab?" Because everyone was just kind of more independent. Whereas today, convenience
I hear you.
Is such a thing.
I hear
that it's now spurned onto relationships where, are you going to make this relationship convenient for me? What the hell?
That's crazy.
Are we going to make this relationship convenient for me?
Like, I'm already about to spend a bill today. I'm about to spend a bill in and around that.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you.
And then on top of that, an extra 50 quids for you to get. Do you know what?
That's what I'm saying. If it's a girl that's 18, I don't have a problem with that, you know. Yeah, if this girl's 33 years old.
I still have a light problem with that.
Oh, come on, man.
But I get it.
Come on, man.
But I just think, like, in life, I just don't hear about those type of things. I just think, like, am I just naive?
No, you're a big man. I'm trying to be with women, you know, women that can look after themselves, and I can look after myself, and together we can create a mad thing.
Yeah.
Like Jay-Z got with Beyonce. I've read somewhere that Beyonce paid for the first meal. Babe got bare kids and bare things.
And
so as long as I know you can handle yourself, I'm comfortable to do whatever. But if I know I'm getting this Uber because you can't afford to get an Uber, then baby girl, you take yourself on the train.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
Because you're not asking me for something that you can provide yourself. You're asking me for something that you cannot provide. That in Jamaica we call that bright.
Right.
Pina Wally, you bright top blood clot about you asking me about something you can't do for yourself. Learn to do it for yourself. I'll be more than happy to do it for you. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
We're not babysitting people out here, man. That's all. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. I think all of that is just so. I think it's weird,
And especially for a date.
and I don't even want to spend time on like. You know, I know people always talk so much on like paying on dates and all of that type of stuff. I just think all of that conversation is weird. Do you know, like I'm always going to pay when I meet a woman. I'm initiating that.
Of course.
But I always meet women as well that are like, especially after being out on a few dinners or whatnot, that are like, listen, I'm paying. And I'll be like, nah. And they'll be like, nah, I'm paying. No, I'm paying. So don't worry, babe. It's cool. I got it. See, when the thing comes, we're not even doing this today. I've got this. I'm paying. All right, cool. I'm not going to fight against that. You're adamant you want to do that?
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
not even an issue.
But it's like, I don't know. I feel like in this day, when you go on the internet and you hear like some of these takes and that on like these things, I'm like, is this what's happening outside? Like, is this what's going on? Am I just... But then at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm a single man, so maybe it's not working for me. I don't know.
What do you mean? Nah, my brother, Chucky, remember, if meeting someone special was too frequent, then it wouldn't be special.
Oh, I hear that still.
So everyone that's always in relationships, you ain't trying to be special. You're not. You're trying to be common. And common don't even rap no more. But you know who made special? Future. And he still raps. So I want to be Future
loudly
and special. But nah, honestly, I just think that if it's like younger people, man, you just got to leave kids to be kids, bro. Like younger people, like 18, 17 years old, do what you want, man.
Do what you want. I hear that. Yeah, if it's that, then listen, man.
But if you're 30 plus asking for Ubers, I just think you should be a little bit embarrassed.
If you're 23 plus, I'm still going with that embarrassment.
You should be a little bit embarrassed, fam. Like, I just think my youths...
If you can't get there, if you're financially low and whatever and you can't get there, then alright, cool. But
no,
like,
if you're financially low, why are you going on dates?
Well, I was about to say, like, if you're on the vibe of, look, I can't even right now, bit low, like I'm not even stepping out. Like I just need to stay at home. Do you know what? Now, babes, I'd really like to see you, and if it's that, I'll get you an Uber. Just come and see me. I'll get you an Uber. That's a whole different thing.
Style out the demand, bro.
It's a question, but it's a demand.
It's a demand, bro.
Because it's like now you're putting me in a situation where whatever answer I give you, which is not about getting you the Uber, now you are judging me on that. Like, and you're ticking off something on this list that you probably saw on, I don't know, maybe saw it on a TikTok, like a TikTok pod or some shit where people have put in their fucking negotiations and their non-negotiations. He's got to get you an Uber. This guy did me. I don't know, bro. It's fucking... Do you know what? What's your Howlers?
Why would you want someone in your life like that, though? Like, that's just so weird. But like I said, if you're young, I get it. But if you're a big person, you're having a stinker. And I think, Chucky, we need to open up this pod to people that are having stinkers in other fields, like football, but when it's not football. I would want them to come here. Because I could talk to you about football on a football show, but guess what? Your problem isn't football. Your problem seems life. And you're probably thinking, Paul, who are you speaking about? Because there's plenty of people we could speak about. One person I actually would love to come to the pod. I've given him hell for years, but now it's just got to the point I'm like, cuz, you've retired and you're 25, 26. But you haven't retired because you still play. His name? Dele Alli. He shouldn't do football shows.
Right.
We shouldn't do football situations.
Right.
Because now...
Where is he?
All right, so let me just read this right now. Besiktas head coach Senol Gunes has banished Dele Alli from the first team and does not plan to include him in any matchday squads for the rest of the season. He's been told to watch from the stands like a fan until he goes back to Everton in the summer. Now, I could have conversations about footballing ability with this guy until whenever, but do I believe that's what he needs right now? No, Dele Alli, I think you're having a howler because of everything you're doing outside. When you went to Turkey, the first thing you posted was your missus. Big man, you have to miss that. You start to focus on football. It's time to focus on football. Because you're going to end up... Look at the footballers that I read about now. The Boatengs, the Tarabats. All they talk about is when they were younger, the mistakes they made. You've got all of this information in front of you, Dele Alli. And you're still out here clowning, bro. And do you know what? You may have your side. I have my side as well. Take a seat.
Take a seat.
So that's the first one. For me, I just think it comes a point in people's lives where let's just stop talking about the sport.
Oh, well, yeah. I would love to have Dele Alli on the couch.
So Dele Alli, for me, is one person. Then I wanted to use this Howler section to sometimes not always speak about Howlers. find balance in life. There are some good stories. So within this howler, I'm going to figure out a name for it soon. But I want to give out a big shout out to a brand. I'm one that always gets on brands. I always get on them. You should be... Big man, let's mix it up. You've done something good.
Always.
I want you lot to hear this.
Collabs is good as far as Puma. You know, with us, it's they really close to our heart because they gave Hustle a deal, and actually our collab is because of Hustle. Like I say, Hustle went and figured out for himself, and always, you know, within that deal, he told him, listen, I appreciate it, but within my deal, you need to write in once a year, you have to do a collab with my clothing brand, with my team, Marathon Clothing. And so he got that inked into his first deal. And so because of that, you know, that was the reason of our collab with Puma. And then, you know, after everything, they came back to the table and made sure the kids were set up straight. It had nothing to do with sales of clothes or the success of the capsules. Just off the top, every year they hitting the kids in their trust fund. Collabs is good.
Are you mad?
That is cold.
So not only are Puma continuing the relationship with the clothing brand that they started with Nipsey, you mean that the Picnic are getting money in the trust fund?
Yeah, it's cold. Yeah, it's amazing.
Puma, when you do something sensational, balance is good. You have to give credit where credit is due.
100%.
So I didn't want to just give Howlers. Now this last one, I found it. I was looking for it for time. This last one, I'll be honest with you, this is bad. For me, this is bad. I was just on it.
Can I just say as well, those are sometimes some of the things that happen when you are a solid human being. Bro.
And Nipsey
was one of one Don.
Brother, what a great person. But there are some people in life that live in that wonderful country that are not great. And I'm going to give you a scene, and then I'm going to say, have you seen it? And then I'm going to tell you what I feel about it.
Man, you fuck black niggas some hoes. I don't know, nigga. Crip, hurry up, nigga. Nigga, you a hoe, nigga. Like that. You a pussy ass nigga, yo, nigga. And this money game tapping in, nigga. And 10, 20, and I said, fuck down like that. Bitch ass. Hey, lift your jacket up real quick.
I ain't going to play the whole thing, but all I'm going to say is this.
Can it, just for the people that are listening, give context?
Yeah, I was going to get into that. What I'm going to say is this. I ain't been a gangster. I don't plan to be. It's a very dangerous lifestyle, and I like being light-skinned. Now in America, I just showed a video of two kids in Texas hustling, selling water on the side. Now Texas is hot. I've been there. You can fry an egg on the floor. It's hot. So they've just used their initiative and said, you know what, we could do so much different things, but you know what, we're going to sell water. And then the gangsters of the area have gone and robbed the kids, literally for the change in their pocket and the water. Now I'm hoping,
that's disgusting.
I'm hoping in 2 weeks' time we find out it was a prank. And then I can say my bad, a howler for me. But from the way I've watched that video and what I've seen, all I will say is this. Any black people out there, this is what I'll say to you. If you're willing to rob under 12s for the little change that they have and little water and all of this, and you're seeing people doing things in life positively, and you're just robbing the Picnic, cause you're pathetic, bro.
Disgusting, bro.
You're bloody pathetic. I don't care how hard you think you are, how sick you think you are in your mind, or so on and so forth. You've chosen to take a particular path to be a rude boy. If you're a real rude boy, go battle rude boys, fam. If you're really the guy that you claim you are, go and get in war with the guys that claim that they're the same thing. Don't be out here trying to trouble civilians. These are innocent little youths, fam, in Texas just selling water on the side. And then you think it's bad boy to rob them for the little change that they have. You're meant to be rude boys. You're meant to have a lot more money than them. You're meant to be buying all the water off them and encouraging them to do their business even more so they don't take the same path as you. You're in your car robbing them for the water. Bro, honestly, fam, any man them that do anything like that, whether it be in America or this country or anywhere else, if you're robbing Picnic, innocent Picnic, and you're meant to be the bad boy, I'm here to tell you, fam, you're a dickhead, bro. You're
million.
not a bad boy. You're a dickhead. Go fight a bad boy.
The rude boy that I respect here is the rude boy that is serving and protecting their community. I'm on that. If you're serving and protecting the community and understanding that the youths are they're the next ones. They are the ones that can change the cycle. I respect that rude boy, the one who keeps that in perspective. Like, you know what, you lot don't need to do what we're doing, but whatever it is that you need help, we've got you in it. Like that kind of vibe. I'm on that. Go in it and flipping. Because you know what, like, this is a whole other conversation in itself. It's like, you know what, sometimes people fall into certain things and do certain things that you're not, and they do them for their own reasons, innit?
Yeah, come on.
And I also understand that sometimes there are it's nuanced, innit? Like they are conditioned to feel and think a certain way, and sometimes that is by causing fear in their own community. But any one of them that is able to rise above that and have an overstanding of, yeah, I'm obviously creating a path for myself illegally, but I do understand though that these lot are the next gen, innit? These are the next youths that are, and they're important. And if we can try and invest in them, then it's better for everyone, including myself. How many of these lot could have ended up being football agents and whatever else if they applied themselves properly, and whatever else? But anyway, conversation for another day. Love my brother. What I will say is, one thing that everyone needs to know, there's an artist called Kamal, yeah? I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
And he's got an album called So Here You Are, Drowning. That's his album. It's different. It's alternative. It is very different. Yeah. But check that out. It might be for you. It might not be. But that's what I've been listening to all day. So I thought I'd let you lot know about it.
Let me show you one tune.
Go on. We got to go because we got to take the cameras. But
Whoever needs the cameras, come on, fam.
he was about to say something so mad.
Crazy.
Cameras, yeah, go on.
And then I said, but who needs them? Now, you know what, there's this guy, TMC Music Connoisseur. He said some crazy things, but I think it's mostly for reactions. But he did post this guy, and his name is High Road Rucci. I just wanted you to hear some of it. Just a little piece of the song.
Money on cheese, bullet went through free. He was cooking cheese, cup of soup. Violate me, grab a gun and keep on. Make sure you squeeze when you see that. I was hunting for them, boy, you know. But they never outside you. He never got a chance, you know.
But it's not even out.
And what you do that for? Slowly but surely, it's coming to ground.
That is cold. I'm sorry, you guys, brother.
That is cold.
High Road Rucci.
High Road Rucci. Is
Come, yeah. He's got a bottle of Henny in his hand. Come on, High Road Rucci.
Say no more.
Come on.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Yeah. La.